Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. We have an unboxing for you today of something pretty exciting. This is Versailles 1919 from GMT Games and designers Mark Herman and Geoff Engelstein. Now, this is about the Versailles Treaty. It's one of my most anticipated games of the year, probably, at least from GMT. And I'm very excited to finally get my hands on it. So let us open her up and see what we get. Now, we're in the big 3-inch GMT box, and this is part of the Great Statesman series. I'm unclear, because the boxes are not marked as such, whether Churchill and or Pericles are considered part of that series. I do like Churchill quite a bit. I have Pericles, but I have not yet gotten to the table, so I cannot give you anything resembling an opinion on it. One thing that this does have, you'll see GMT rates it as complexity 6, solitaire suitability high. That's because there is a dedicated solitaire mode in here. I'm not sure I'd call it a bot. We'll see. I haven't examined the solitaire systems all that much, even though I have given the rules, which are available on GMT's website, a decent perusal at this point. So let's open her up and see what we get in the large and beautiful 3-inch box. At this point, it's probably not true to say I feel like everything that GMT releases ought to be in a 3-inch box, but I wouldn't mind if it was, to be honest. And the box is very tight. And this is the new style, very thick, very rigid GMT box. All right, so first things first, we have a playbook. Let's put this off to one side. We have a playbook. This is, excellent. Okay, we start off with a comprehensive example of play in the 4-player mode. This does accommodate 2 to 4 players. It definitely looks like it will accommodate 3 or 4 players with no trouble. 2 players, I'm not sure yet. I haven't seen it played with 2 players yet, nor obviously have I tried it myself since it just walked in the door. Very comprehensive example of play. I am very happy to see. I don't know if this is a complete game or not, but it's very comprehensive. That's fantastic. Here's a solitaire comprehensive example of play, or Sauron Goes to Paris, which is awesome. And of course, we have a pretty standard GMT stock here. It's a matte finish stock with full color. Very nice. And we have some historical commentary on the issue cards, which is actually awesome because a lot of the I think cool flavor of the game, from what I can see, is in the issue cards. So I'm glad to see that we're getting a little bit of additional context on them. And then we have designer's notes by Geoff Engelstein and designer's notes by Mark Herman. So art director, cover art, package design by Roger McGowan, rules editing by Kai Jensen. Manuals from Charlie Kibler, production coordinator by Tony Curtis. And here's a cool picture of the actual treaty at the end. And on the back, we have the solo player aid. I hope that this is on a separate card too. Let's find out. We have just begun, and the whole thing. This is 32 pages, by the way, right? Yeah, this is a 32-page playbook. So let's set that aside for now. And here we have our rules of play. Same paper stock as the playbook. This feels like 20. It is 20 pages. I was going to say 24, but and once again, we have the same full color deal. Nice paper. There is some errata for this, unfortunately, including, I believe, some card errata. The Versailles 1919 errata will be handled by the multi-game errata kit that GMT is putting out presently. So I don't have the impression, it looks like there's quite a few moving pieces here, but I don't feel like this is all that complicated. I know GMT says, the box says that it's 6 out of 10, but that's honestly just the best guess that the designers sent to GMT, and I'd put this at a 4 from what I've seen, maybe even a 3. All right. So we have, what did I just say that I wish they'd put that on a player aid, and they did. Solo player aid, single-sided solo player aid. We have a sheet of counters. These are thick brown core stock pre-rounded counters. Always nice to have pre-rounded counters. We have a score. Ooh, that's nice, actually. You know, we were just talking about this, and I forget what game we were playing not that long ago. Stellar Horizons, actually, would have benefited from having a scoring pad. I don't think they could have fit it into the box, but be very handy to have a scoring pad, actually. And you can, of course, photocopy these all you like. So good for them for putting this in. That'll make that easier to calculate all the victory points at the end of the game. We have a board. It is in one of these Ziploc bag things, which it's always a little bit of a challenge to get it both out of the bag without either destroying the board or destroying the bag. And I have managed to do it in this case. Let's see if I could set the whole thing up, actually. The map, if you haven't seen the preview graphics on it, is intended to be reminiscent of an actual conference table. Now, I have only seen it in pictures, so I don't know how well that comes off in the flesh. And I have to say, I like it. It's the board's quite poochy, as is typical for GMT mounted maps. That'll work itself out sooner or later, and it's probably going to work itself out pretty soon because this is going on the table pretty much immediately, like today. So it might actually be traveling with me next week. We'll see what happens. I like the space, the way the space is physically laid out. This is what you don't get a sense of looking at pictures of the board on the internet. The spaces are all nice and big. Everything is at the same time within reach, and there's not really any off-map displays or anything like that either. So I am not 100% sold on the aesthetics of it, but I think looking at it, it will work absolutely fine, and is laid out very well. So let's put this away, because we are not even done. There is, again, not particularly surprisingly, there's a fair amount of stuff included here. So we have a bag of, well, 2 bags. We have a die contained in a tiny baggie, and we have a bag of wooden cubes and discs. The discs represent military forces in a very abstract way, and the blocks represent diplomatic will, if you will. It is a diplomatic game. Now I also have, I'll point out the box insert. I'm not going to toss this box insert right away, actually, because I want to see how the counters store first. It looks like the counters will store very compactly in this particular game. I will almost certainly, however, end up throwing the box insert away, just because that's the way it works. Now, there's 2 decks of cards, or 2 packs of cards, I should say. You have, these are the event cards, I think, and these are the issue cards, and these are a standard size, standard playing card, or GMT card anyway size. Let's open this up and look at it, because I'm not Mr. Expert on this topic exactly, but it's an unconventional topic in that it is a game about a peace treaty, right, rather than a game about the war that led to the peace treaty. So we have this active player, which is just something you pass back and forth, as far as I could tell. We have these strategy cards, which I think, I'm not 100% sure how these work. You may bid for these, but then certain countries are better positioned to go after certain strategy cards. Like you have this picture of the young Winston Churchill here, a political cartoon from the era of revanchism, the 14 points, Woodrow Wilson. Nation building, global trade, mobilization, isolationism, outlawing war, and regional competition. So those are, and I think if you claim these, and then this sets a schedule of victory points based on what you have here. There's a lot of iconography here, which I found a little confusing at first. But I feel like even just having perused the key for it, I feel like it's not going to be a big problem. Okay, we have Arthur Balfour. Here's Mustafa Ataturk, which is pretty cool. Of course, I'll be honest, half these people I'm not going to have heard of. Chaim Weissman, I've heard of. Emil Katin, which I'm probably mispronouncing. Ferdinand Foch. Fridtjof Nansen. I have no idea who that guy is. Norwegian Arctic explorer dispatched to deliver aid to the Bolsheviks. Okay. Of course, while this kind of topically for me, Herbert Hoover, kind of topically for me, Ibn Saud, one of the things that's happening around this time, Jan Smuts, is the Russian Civil War. And I say that topically because, as you're going to find out, I'm going to have some material on the Russian Civil War coming to the channel pretty soon. Here is Mr. Lenin. Here is somebody whose Chinese name I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. Here's Mahatma Gandhi, quite young picture of Mahatma Gandhi, which it should be in 1919 after all. Prince Faisal, who you will probably recall if you have seen Lawrence of Arabia. Samuel Gompers, founder of the International Labor Organization. And here's Lawrence of Arabia. How about that? Here's Vittorio Orlando, W.E.B. Du Bois, Wellington Koo, China's ambassador to the United States. Okay, and here's the same picture of the younger Winston Churchill, who has a very devilish look on his face in that particular picture. So those are the event cards, and I'm not counting them, and I'm not checking, but it feels like there's 55 or 60 of those, maybe 52. And then we have these issue cards. Now, if you're going to sleeve this, and it's my inclination would be to sleeve this game, you're going to have to run down specialized sleeves for this. That's not a problem these days, but I can't tell you. These might be standard tarot card-sized cards, actually. If so, honestly, you'll probably have to get a measurement in millimeters and order the correct sleeve. So we have these little player aid cards, with your various options for the turn. The turn structure is very straightforward. You do a political action, and then you can do a military action either before or afterwards, and that's the turn, right? And then you have upright, and at certain points other things can happen, but the turn structure is extremely straightforward. This is the entire sequence of play essentially right here. So that goes there, and then we have I like the backs of the cards. This kind of card back look is a very common look that often is less suitable for the game's topic than it is in this case. It is very suitable to the game's topic. So here we have the various issues that you can squabble over as the four major powers, which, by the way, are France, England, the USA, and Italy. And because they don't have text on them, I don't know that it would be particularly fun or rewarding for me to paw through these with you. But essentially, when the issues get resolved, you're going to pick one of these three ways to resolve it, and then they will have these effects, and there's a key to what these icons mean. So this, for example, will cause unrest in the United States. This will cause unhappiness in France, and this will cause AF. This will cause unrest in Africa, I think, and unhappiness in France. Everybody hates this except the British. I think that's the Empire icon, if I'm correct. If I do playthrough video on this, I will absolutely feel obliged to provide historical context as the cards and issues come up. But super interesting looking game. Like I said, I plan to get this to the table. We are viewing my top map that goes on top of games I'm playing right now, and that's got to get picked up, and because this has to get put down. So it is my intention to get some additional video of Versailles 1919 out to you pretty soon. It might not be as soon as I had originally planned. I have just been informed that I may be traveling either next week or the week after, so depending on exactly how that schedule works out, that will affect my video making schedule, but don't worry, it won't be that disruptive. So thanks for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comments below. Please give the video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed watching it. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon to get notified when new content comes out. If you would like to support Ardwulf's Lair, it would be greatly appreciated if you would share the content around on social media, wherever you are. Or you can click on the Patreon link in the video description. Either way, thanks for watching and happy wargaming.